Hey everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter. You are joining me from my spare room slash craft room in East, Vancouver Island, Canada. I just got to close my door. Almost forgot. All right, it is Monday, January 13th, and tonight I am going to share a project with you using the Corner in Bloom stamp set that you can get during the Sale-A-Bration promotion until the end of February. So I got everything ready to go. I'm going to flip the camera around and mess around with my zoom because that's how I roll. So let's get started. All right, so I have got, I just want to try to zoom in. Oh my gosh, I did it. It's amazing. All right. I'm just going to lift my camera up a bit. Sorry if I'm getting you guys dizzy. You'd think I'd get better at this, but I don't. I really don't get better at trying to get a good zoom on my camera. So tonight, I'm going to show you a card using this Corner in Bloom stamp set. And it is on page 14 of the Sale-A-Bration catalog. And you can get it for free if you're in Canada. If you spend $150, you can pick this as your free item. Anyways, it is gigantic. Look at how big it is. Well, there's a lot of stamps in here, but I'm going to use the big one. So I had to get my biggest block for this stamp. So let's do it. Hopefully I don't mess it up because it's a pretty big stamp to stamp with. I'm just bringing up, oops, oh my gosh, I did it. My computer. I have to shut off the volume because that's another thing I forget to do, is shut off my computer volume. Okay, I've got a Lemon and Lolly card base. Lemon and Lolly, wow, it's been a day. Lemon Lolly card base. It is 5.5 by 8.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inch size. I've got two pieces of cardstock that are the same size. I've got Daffodil Delight and Basic White, and they are both 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I just got a sheet of Basic White. It's a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, and I'm going to use that to stamp this big, gigantic stamp set on. All right, I see I've got some comments popping up. Hello, Leanne. Hello, Gail. Sherry, how's it going? Oh, and I have a little circle die from the Spotlight in Nature die set to stamp my sentiment on. All right, I'm going to get some stuff out of the way. And somewhere in my mess, I have just my Tuxedo Black ink. Hey, Janice, I see you. Thanks for tuning in. So I'm just going to ink up this gigantic floral stamp with my Tuxedo Black ink. And for me, this is just probably personal preference, but with my black ink, I like to twist when I apply it to my stamp. I just twist a little bit and then I tap it all down to smooth out the ink. It's just me. That's how I like to do it. I don't know if it's the way to do it, but it works well for me to get an even coverage. Now, with this awkward, gigantic block, I'm going to stamp the image. I'm just going to apply some gentle pressure. And there we go. I did a terrible job. Terrible. I'm going to try that again. So with these ginormous stamps, I need a little bit more practice because I don't usually stamp such big images. But it's just paper, so if I mess up, I could just try again. All right, let's see if this one transfers a little bit better. All right. There we go. Better, not perfect, but I'm going to roll with it. So now I'm going to color in my flowers. Hello, Anne. Thanks for tuning in. Mary Ellen, hello. And for these flowers, I have picked out Lemon Lolly, obviously. I've got my pumpkin pie. And for the leaves, I've got old olive. And then for the inside of some of the flowers, I've just picked out the light copper clay. So I'm not going to bore you all with all the coloring because it is a pretty big image and it would take a lot of time. And I don't want you guys falling asleep on me. Anyway, so I'm just going to start out with my dark pumpkin pie. And I like to give the outer petals a darker color. And then I also just kind of trace along the outline and anywhere there's a little stamped line. And I am by no means a blending expert, so this is just how I like to do my flowers because I'm not super fancy. Then I just go over everything with my light color and I pull the dark color up is what I tend to do until I can see from my perspective anyway, that the colors just start to blend in. And then if I need more dark, I'll just add more dark and I'll go over it again with my lighter color. But just do be careful because if you oversaturate your images, then the color sometimes will bleed out. So I'm careful not to do that as well. So same thing with the lemon lolly. I'm just going to go over where the petals kind of curl inward. I'm going to give them the darker color. And I'm using the bullet tip. And then I'm tracing along the outline. And then I'll just go back over it with my light shade. All right, so I'm just pulling that dark color in when I shade in with my light. So I'm not, I'm not scribbling like this, but I'm doing a long, even stroke, if that helps. All right, I think you get the idea. So I did flowers alternating in pumpkin pie, lemon lolly, leaves. I chose a old olive, and then I'm just gonna fussy cut out this entire image. So to save, 10 minutes, because this is pretty big, I've already gone ahead and I have colored and cut this image out. So now the hard part is done. So I'm just gonna grab my, had to think about the color, Daffodil Delight. Oh my gosh, I need coffee. I need a coffee. I've got my Daffodil Delight cardstock. I've got my Daffodil Delight ink pad and then a smaller flower from the stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp random flowers in the same color cardstock. And I'm not really too worried where. I'm just going to stamp until I've got pretty good coverage. I like this random stamping. I could do it all day long. All right, so it's subtle. I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can get a better look. All right, if you can see that, there's a subtle flower pattern on my cardstock. So this is going to go on the front of my card base. I'm just going to fold my card base in half. I'm going to go, whoops, I almost lost this. I'm going to glue this down to the front of the card, and then I'm going to pop up these flowers right in the corner. Hello, Cindy from Manitoba. Hello, Canadian Stamper. Nice to see you. All right, glue. I was just about to get ready to do this live. I like to give myself about 20 minutes. I get settled in and get all my stuff ready, and then I realized that I had forgot to pre-stamp, color, and cut out the corner bloom, which I knew I wanted to do because I didn't want to keep you guys on a live while I'm coloring and cutting such a big image, and I completely forgot about it. So I got home from work and I was puttering away, and I was actually making 2 ingredient bagels. for my son and I. And then I realized I needed to come up here, color and cut this. So I hustled and I literally finished cutting this 2 minutes before 7. So if you haven't made 2-ingredient bagels before, they're the easiest thing. I'm not going to say they're the best bagels, but they're high protein and they're pretty tasty. So all you do is mix 1 cup of self-rising flour with 1 cup of Greek yogurt, and that's it. You mix that up until you get a sticky dough. I like to pop it in the fridge for about 5 minutes so it gets a little bit firm, and then on a floured surface, I cut that ball into quarters and shape them into bagels, and I just cook them in the air fryer. So super easy. Hello, Carol from Connecticut. I can't even talk tonight. From Connecticut. And Marina from Ontario. Thanks for tuning in. And Catherine from New Zealand. Wow. First timer. Thanks for tuning in. Jackie, Vicky, man. Hello, everybody. I'm feeling lucky tonight. And here I can't even pronounce things or talk. I'm all flustered from going from making bagels to hustling to color and cut out this image. What a day. All right, so now that I've got this down, what I want to do is stamp a sentiment. And I've just taken a sentiment from the sketched butterfly stamp set. I had to think about that one too. So I just grabbed a sentiment from the sketched butterfly stamp set because I would like this to be a birthday card. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment on my circle die in just my black ink. And then I'm going to flip this over, add a little bit of tear and tape, and then I'm going to add some Daffodil Delight ribbon. Hey Judy, I'm glad you tuned in. This card reminds me of you because of the colors, so I'm glad you're here. Hello, Julie. Yeah, the bagel, Jackie, is not terrible. I mean, it's not super delicious like a bagel you would get from a bagel store, but it feels kind of guilt-free to me. So, and we did them up last night like a donut. So I just shaped it like a bagel. I used blueberry Greek yogurt. Oops, I'm going to do this the other way. So I put some tear and tape on the back because I want it to hold this little piece of Daffodil Delight satin ribbon down while I just kind of maneuver the ribbon where I want it. So I almost do like a figure 8 at the back when I'm adding my ribbon. And I like the tear and tape because it lets me pull the ribbon off easily if I need to readjust it. So it's handy. It holds it in place, but it's also easy to manipulate if you need to change things up. So I'm trying to do a figure 8, but it's not quite working for me. Not too bad. I want this one loop to be a little bit higher. Yeah. So this goes like so. I'm going to pop that up with dimensionals. And then there is one more thing I'm going to do. Well, 2 more things. I need to put down some white on the inside because you know how I feel about my layers. I like having layers. All right, so I've just popped this up. And I'm going to stamp one of those flowers on my inside layer. Hey Lisa, hello Donna. Marina, I love this color combo too. It's Judy that gets me using these bright, cheerful colors. All right, so I've just stamped one flower in the corner. That's all it needs for a little something, 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 so my card's not naked on the inside. Did I finish telling you about the donuts I made? Okay, so I used blueberry Greek yogurt and flour. Super easy because it is the same proportion. So if you're going to make a smaller recipe, you know, you just do, let's say, half a cup of Greek yogurt and half a cup of flour. You don't even have to buy self-rising flour. I think you can just add salt and baking soda or baking powder, and then that's all you need to do. But I cheated and I bought the self-rising flour, added the blueberry Greek yogurt, cook them at about 320 in my air fryer for about 15 minutes. And I know every air fryer is different, so I couldn't tell you the exact temperature. That's just with my air fryer. And then I let them cool, and then I glazed them with just icing sugar. I took some icing sugar and some whipping cream, and I made this little glaze, and they were so good. And then I sprinkled some random rainbow sprinkles that I had from when Kai was maybe, I don't know, 3. And I had these old sprinkles in my baking cupboard. All right, I just want to add one tiny bee trinket. Now, I always use a little bit of Tombow when I'm adding my trinkets. And you need to have a little more patience if you're going to do them this way, because you have to let them dry. So I just put a little tiny bit of Tombow, and then I will grab a block and I'm going to weight that down, and I'm going to let that sit for about a minute till the glue dries. You can use glue dots as well, but I find glue dots, I don't love them for trinkets. I don't think that they have longevity. So just for me, I find that glue dots lose their stickiness and my trinkets fall off, and I don't want my trinkets to fall off. So while that is drying, I got a package today, and I told myself I was not buying this set, but I bought it. I bought the Darling Dino set from the mini catalog. I said I wasn't going to do it because I don't have a little kid anymore. I don't have grandkids, but it's just too adorable. It's too adorable. So I think what got me was the little top hat, and there's these tiny little kisses. Tiny little kisses. So anyway, I ended up getting this dino set, even though I said I wouldn't do it because I don't have little people in the house. Here's all the dies that come with it. So you can cut out the little hat. There's a birthday hat. It cuts out the sunflower. There's a little egg, so you can make a dinosaur popping out of an egg. Balloon. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I'm going to make some kid cards, even though I don't have any little people to give them to. How could I resist? All right. So I've given this enough time. There we have it. My little bee trinket. It's on there. I won't risk it because it might need a little bit more time to dry. So, but for now, oh, one more thing. I almost forgot. This is so important. Okay. If you have Wink Estella, this magic glitter brush, then add some glitter to that Corner in Bloom ginormous stamp. And that adds so much. It just has this beautiful sheer shine, and a little goes a long way. So yeah, if you've got Wink Estella, just spread that glitter everywhere. Once in a while, I just need to give it a little squeeze. I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing. I give it a little bit of squeeze. It fills up the chamber with its magic glitter, and then away I go. So this stamp is just perfect for some Wink Estella. But then again, everything's perfect for Wink Estella. I might even Wink Estella these dinosaurs when I make that. All right, I don't know if you can see the shine, but there is shimmer to those flowers. All right, I think that's it. I am going to pop a link for the Sale-A-Bration PDF and the catalog in the comments. So if you don't have that, you can grab the electronic version of Sale-A-Bration, and I got a catalog somewhere in my mess. You can see all my mess. I'm in the middle of designing for a class, and no guests are allowed to come because I don't have any room in my spare room until the class is over on Sunday. But I've got 6 cards designed and ready to go, and I want to do 2 more. So that is it. Sale-A-Bration, you can get some stuff for free. It's also a really, really good time to join if you want to snag a really good deal on the starter kit. So I know it's a direct sales company, but there really is not any strings attached to joining up and getting your hands on the starter kit. So if you're in Canada and you want to know a little bit more about it, then please reach out and we can have a chat and I'll answer any questions that you have. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. My computer's frozen, so I'm sure I'm missing comments. I will go back, I'll read everything, and I will get back to you. Thank you very much for tuning in with me tonight. And if you're watching on a replay, if you're watching on Facebook, I'm going to throw the measurements in the comments. It's in a photo. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to find the measurements in the description of the video. And if you make this design, share a picture and let me see what you come up with. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see everybody on my next live stream. Have a great night.